Hi everyone. Yeah, this is Mercy. Today I'm going to take you through some few HTML5 element tag that we use in developing the web application in there. Now, before you start building your any web application, first of all, you need to create your structure where you'll be able to keep your various files. So in this tutorials, I'm going to create a folder and organize my content in there. So first of all, right click and go to new folder. Now my name of application, I can save I'm developing a web app underscore computer science for computer science department. Now, when I'm done with this, I open my editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code. So I open it and then I click on files. I want to import my folder so that it will be well structured in there. I'm able to save and have access to my information over there. So that's what I'm doing now. So I open files, I go to new, I open folder, I go to new open folder, I click on it, then I look for the location of my folder that I created for my web application. So this is it. I select the folder. So now the folder is being displayed at your left panel nicely here. So all your pages will be saved here. So you have a pop-up. Do you trust the author? Yes, we trust it. Now, our first home page must always be the index file. So we go to file, then we go to new text file. Then after we have done it, we save our first file inside our page. So if you check, it's over there. So we have index.html or index.htm. Then that's the extension of HTML when you save it over here. Now, today we are going to learn two elements, the heading and the paragraph. That's what we are going to learn today. Now, the heading and the paragraph. First of all, we'll take the heading. Now, headings must be used correctly. We have heading up to 6. We have heading 1, 2, 3, 6. So they must be used inappropriately. Now, we use heading so that you can able to improve our website structure. So it's also very important. Also for accessibility for screen readers, like I said, screen readers to able to understand what you also want to communicate. It's also help in SEO, search engine optimization, and it's also for readable and navigation of web pages. So heading help in these ones. Now, in heading, we have heading 1, heading 2 in there. So we have heading 1, 2, heading 6. So that is what the heading is about. Now, this heading, a few information I want to put across is the one. Heading ones must only use once in a page. All other headings can be repeated. So heading ones is used once in a page. The other headings can be repeated in there. So you can't be repeating headings inside your code, one severally in your code. So you must use it very well, and then it's following a structured form. So we are going to do one demonstration where headings can be applied in there. So when you take this one, I have a default page here as a goal. Now when you take this page, you can see that we have some bolding here. So where we have the Department of Computer Science, where we have about the department, the vision, mission, academic programs, and then the Bachelor of Technology in Computer Science, level 1 course, level 2 course, HND, and then the software engineering, and then the programming language and the lab exercise are all headings. So let's see how we can able to depict something, when to apply. So when you check, This one is bigger than this one. So this one is heading 1. The other ones are other heading. So let's see where we can able to apply these ones in our code when it comes to headings in over there. So I'm going to do a demonstration, and then we will see where to apply all these ones. So I open our VS Code, and then in our VS Code, when I open it, first of all, when I open it, so we are going to demonstrate with the heading 1. First of all, you need to have your HTML structure. So the structure is what it declared to the browser that you are writing HTML code. So it's very important to do that. So it starts with the doc type. It's declared that we are writing HTML5, and then the root come HTML, and then within the HTML we close it. So it's supposed to be HTML. We close it, so VS Code will close automatically for you. Then we'll have our title inside. No, we have our head. Sorry, our head in there, and the head we'll have our title in to title our page. We show it in the browser tab. So I'll title this one maybe home page, our first page, home page. And then after we end of the head, I open the body tab. So the body is where the content that we will be displaying over there. So when you check our focus in here, the first thing is department. So the department will start with heading 1. So I intros in heading 1 for department in there. So I write my department of computer science in there. So department of computer science. Because I've typed them, I'll just copy and paste over there. So I will not be typing anymore. So this one I'm typing for demonstration 1. The rest I'll copy in there. So hyphen KSTU. So we are doing an application for that in there. So that's our first heading in over there. No, you can also leave Department of Computer Science in there. So that's our first heading. So our homepage, you can say homepage underscore KSTU, something like that, or computer science KSTU. Anywhere you want to head in over there. Now, our next one, we have, so after the heading 1, we have another content which also talk about the vision, no, about the department. So if we check our goal, this one is about the department. So this one also in the heading about the department. These ones are content. So we will learn how to put in over there using other tags. So we're only working on the heading. So this one, we introduce our heading 2 for the about the department. So I put in about the department here. And then the next one is our vision. So the vision 2, I want to have heading 3 in over here. So I'll copy, and then I'll add our vision, and then our mission. They all follow the same the size. So that one I can use heading 3 in doing that. So this one too, I use heading 3 in the mission over there. So the mission 2, I copy it in between the tag. As I said, always the content must be between the open and the closing of the tag. So the other part is the about the academic program. So let's check that one. So the other part is this one, academic program. So this one, the font, we check the size is bigger than the mission. So we can use heading 2 for this one, and then we repeat in there. So heading 2 in there, and I put in my heading 2 for the academic event. Our next one is Bachelor of Computer Technology in Computer Science. So when you check in there, our focus, you can see that we have Bachelor of Computer Science. So this one is a bit smaller than the other one. So I will use heading 3 for that one. So I open heading 3 in here and then put in the content nicely over there. So heading 3, and it must be closed nicely. Then our next one is the the next one. I think we have the academic but bachelor, but the next one is the year course, the 1 year course. So when you check in the focal point, this is a 1 year course. The year 2 to there, you see the size are the same. So this one we can go for heading 4 for that over there. So heading 4 for that in here, and we'll have our heading 5 in here. So these are heading 5 for the year course for the other year group, year 2. So I'll change this one to year 2. And then the next one is the HND. So we have HND2, which is a different program. So we have 2 programs in there. So we have HND, higher diploma course in there. So that one too, because it falls under the academic program. So that one also use heading 3 in doing that, like the way the Bachelor of Computer Technology also has. So I put that one there. And then we'll have other options over there. So maybe software development and other stuff and other language that they do here. So it follow in there. So maybe they have options in the heading there. So maybe if you want to do uh, options in the HND, maybe options over there. So that one we can talk about it later on if they are options. So let me see if they are options. I can put the options in heading 4. In heading 4, and then I put in the option. Maybe somebody wants software development as the first option, and then somebody also wants maybe programming language or any other options that the person will have. So let's say that's the option in over there. And then we can also add um, maybe some lab activities in for a class. So I will send the focal point and then you can also check. So the lab activity, you can demonstrate with the maybe heading 6 in there, or let me see heading 5 for the lab activities, or heading 5 for maybe you want to focus on any other program under the software development. And maybe I can put the heading 6 in there as the lab activities. So the heading 5, I can put maybe programming language. So when you are done with that, you can view the outcome of this one. The last time I asked you if you have installed the view in live server, you just right click, then you will see the view live server here. I don't have it now, I've not installed, so I will save it and open it in the browser. So I can just click and then open it in the browser to have a look at how the documents look like now. So I go to where I've saved my file structure and then click on it, and it gives me the outcome in over here. So this is the outcome of what we have done. So we start with heading 1, 2, 3, 3, and then 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then 6. So this one is 6, 5, 4, 3. So it's followed in that format. Now, another aspect I want to talk about uh, is the paragraph. Now, paragraph are used in populating content. So in most application, you will see paragraph. Paragraph are used in when you want to content. So in all most of application over there, you observe that they have content in there. So if you want to put in the content, then you must use the paragraph in populating your content in there. So paragraphs are good for content creation, and all web application you will see content. So the idea is that if you have a content or any idea that you want to explain to people, you put in your content. So we can put in some content under this one using the paragraph. So paragraph, we use the p tag. So we can come here and then open a p tag in here, open and close, and in between we put in our content. So maybe I can get a content about computer science in here, about a department in here. I say welcome. So I can put this content in here. So basically that's what the paragraph is about. So I'm doing indentation, I put in here. So that's paragraph. So I can add more paragraph underneath these headings in here. So let me get some content in here and put in a paragraph over there so that we can see it there. So we have about us. I put in the content, taking the content, I put in here. This one I'm just copying an existing content, so you can generate your own content in here. The last time I said you can generate your own content. I can also put another paragraph here. You can also generate content by using the LO loop, and then you can type maybe 6 or 5, then you enter, it generates 6 characters for you. So these ones are all part of the content creating in there. So if I type loop, I type maybe 4, and I hit enter, it generates some characters for me. So this one we are putting in content in the paragraph. We are putting in content under the heading using the paragraph in doing that. So that is basically that's what we are doing in here to generate in some content under the paragraph, under the headings, using the paragraph to generate that. So this is basically some of the content that I'm generating in each of these ones. So if you view, you will see the content using the paragraph in there. So let's see what we are doing so far, the content that I've displayed. So if you check, we have the home.kstu underscore kstu, and the content are being displayed nicely under each of the headings over there. So let's go to back our code. I see some closing tag being opened over there. Maybe I've opened a tag I didn't close. So let me see where I see some closing tag in there, around in there, what is displaying in the browser for us. Okay. So anytime you open a open tag, you make sure you close it. So it's very important to take a good look at it so that you don't have, if you don't do that, it might work, but in a life it's not appropriate. The thing is that you need to avoid every open tag must be closed in there. So let me check our code again. Let's see where the code is being opened there. So here we have our programming language. So let's go back to our code. Let's see what we have a programming language. Okay, so it's here. I've seen it. All right, so it's deleted in here. So this one we have done paragraph and heading. So we can comment our code PHP. As I said, comments are used to help you as a developer to remember your code that you're writing, and also to help anybody who want to take your code, any developer, to see, understand what you are writing up. So we comment in PHP, in HTML, you bring your tag, and then you bring your factorial sign, and you bring your dot 1, 2. So in between here, we put in a comment. I can say that this is about heading 1 to 6 and paragraphing. So using paragraphing in our work. So paragraphing in there to demonstrate content. So this one we are all right. So paragraph, we want to let's we want to inform uh, that we are basically uh, uh, we want to that we are trying to use the paragraph elements and the all right, the paragraph element and the heading element. So this is how we depict basically the paragraph and the heading elements are used. All right, so you have any comments, any issues, you put at the comment section. You like the video, you share with other people, and then we are good to go. So when you watch, you like the video, then you share. All right, so thank you. We'll meet in our next session. Bye.